3, 4. Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, test 1, 2, 3, 4.
Myron, hey Myron, it's running. You got a half an hour. Just put that over your shoulder and just use the mic.
Put it over my shoulder, huh? Where's Dwight? Come here. Do a little tape. All right, Dwight White, with the bottle of champagne in your hand on the Steeler plane heading back east. You sound in great form tonight, and I would expect from you a great pronouncement on this victory.
Well, Myron, all I can say is that we did what we had to do, and I was ready if I didn't get to go, but I got to go, and I'm on my way, and see you when I get there.
Wait a minute. See you when I get there. Okay. Would you care to be a little bit more specific?
Well, approximately 2 weeks from now, we'll be in New Orleans, Louisiana, attempting to compete with some guys called the Minnesota Vikings for what is nationally known as the Super Bowl. We intend to come out on the top end of that situation. We intend to go in and play our game, the typical type of game that the Pittsburgh Steelers can play, which is great football. Great football.
Do you consider the Steelers, Dwight White, do you consider the Steelers one of the great teams of the ages?
No doubt about it, Myron. No doubt about it. We'll put some of the all-time greats in shadows.
And he moves forward up the aisle of this airplane with a big fat cigar in one hand and a bottle of champagne in the other. Wait, he's back.
Myron, don't cut me short. I would like to say a few more things. Ask me some questions.
Ask you some questions? You don't need questions for a guy like you. I mean, what are you talking about, ask you some questions?
Well, I'll take the mic from here, Myron. Would you just please get lost in the shuffle, please? We have, ladies and gentlemen, we have a fine group of athletes here, a fine group of competitors, and we have tried and struggled and had the wherewithal, as our beloved leader has said time and time again, to win the big game. We would like to have all of you people in New Orleans, Louisiana, supporting us, because we're going to bring the Super Bowl crown back to Pittsburgh, PA. Good night.
Right on.
Dwight White.
Yeah, beautiful, Dwight. Where you go, Myron? I'm glad I got on this show.
Thanks, Jack. You're always yelling, Donnie Shell. Put me on the radio. All right, you're on the radio. Say something brilliant.
Well, look here, I think the victory is great, and I think we're going and we're going to win the Super Bowl because we need this money.
That's as good a reason as any. Okay, Donnie Shell. Do a little tape with me. This one's Ray Mansfield. Ray, you were in charge of checking the football for Bradshaw to see that the Oakland Raiders didn't pull any of their cheap tricks. How did that department go today? Did they try?
Well, they had some... No, I didn't see anything written on the balls until right at the end. And I looked down and it says, "Don't shoot, we surrender."
That's terrific. Hey, what about the gunk on the football? All that stickum that comes off Biletnikov's hands?
Well, I did see a few seagull feathers stuck to the ball. I don't know if that was because of all the stickum or what.
That's good. You told me that nobody ever called Pittsburgh the Bird, and Mary Regan, who ought to know, says she heard it all the time.
The Bird?
Yeah.
Where's she been loafing? I never heard that. Never. Quickie tape. Let me do a quickie tape. This is Chuck Noll here on this one. Chuck, the thing that stands out in the statistics is, golly, you held them to 29 yards rushing and an average of only 1.4 yards a carry.
That's a hell of a statistic, Myron, and there's a gentleman sitting right there that's responsible for it.
Georgie Perles. Georgie, it must be the proudest day of your life.
Well, it sure is, Myron. I still think we ought to have a contest for the name of the front four and your sponsor give away a new car.
Why did I start this tape? Anyhow, why did I start this interview? Okay. I can't take it. Do a little tape with me.
No, I'm not.
Yes. Come on now, you want a title.
I'm not going to.
Okay, here's Marianne Noll, and she says, no, she's not going to do a tape-recorded interview with me. Why not?
Because, listen, Myron, darling, I want you to look. I wore my black and gold today. Is that good enough for you?
She wore black and gold, all right. I had a letter from somebody who keeps track of her complaining, and she doesn't wear black and gold to the games. So you've had it on the last 2 weeks, and I guess that's what you'll be wearing to the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. Love it.
One of the happiest days of your life?
Right, Myron.
And the beloved leader is, as Dwight White calls him, the beloved leader seems to be happier than I've ever seen him in his entire career at Pittsburgh.
He's smiling, Myron. He's smiling.
Are you saying that when he's smiling, he's ecstatic?
Right, absolutely.
A grudging interview from Marianne Noll.
My other self, listen.
Ron Shanklin, what do you think of the club's chances in New Orleans?
Myron, I think the club's chances are superb. I feel like we've reached a point where we have matured with the right combination of the seasoned ball player and some veterans not veterans, but rookies who are making super contributions. And I just think we got it all together now, and I don't think we can be stopped.
Do you think that this team, is moving towards some sort of label of greatness?
Well, I like to feel that way, but of course I'm prejudiced toward our ball club. I kind of like for people to just look at us and judge for themselves.
Well, the reason, of course, the thing that most prompts the question is the really authoritative way that you guys handled the Raiders, holding them to 29 yards, rushing, that sort of thing, just really whipped them to death.
Yeah, well, see, when you ask questions like that, I think maybe you should ask maybe someone who's a little more modest, because I'm a Steeler, and I believe in the Steelers. I always have, I always will. I work with these guys every day, and I know what they can do. I know potentially what they can do. So, you probably have to talk to somebody who's a little less prejudiced about it.
Lean in here a little. I just want to do a quickie interview. This is an interview with Bill Dudley. Here on a Steeler plane flying east to Pittsburgh is a guy who many people consider the greatest Steeler of them all. I'm talking, of course, about Bullet Bill Dudley, who came along on the trip to see the Steelers win the American Conference Championship. Bill is an old Steeler, and a guy many people say was absolutely the greatest. What does this victory do for you?
Myron, I'm happy if I had good sense. I'm just so thrilled and pleased to have been able to get out here to see the ball game. And frankly, the ball club, they just beat the hell out of them. Offensively, defensively, and everything else. And it was such a real thrill to be able to sit up there in the stands and watch it. And then having been out to practice yesterday afternoon, when we left the field yesterday afternoon, and talked with Harris and talked with Gorilla for a few minutes and Joe Green, and you just kind of had a feeling that they were going to play themselves one terrific football game, and that's exactly what happened.
Seated here on this one, I better billboard this. This is an interview with Jack McGinley, Steeler owner. Now, okay. Jack McGinley, you were sort of a silent owner in the Steelers. Nobody ever hears the name Jack McGinley. You're along on every trip, and of course you've sweated out all these years, and now you've won the first conference championship. You must be feeling terrific.
Well, Myron, I'm very happy, and as all the rest of the team and Art and the rest of the family, and we're just delighted to be here.
Did you ever think that it was going to be as convincing as it was today?
Myron, I really thought that we would win. I would have been disappointed if we didn't, but really I would have been surprised if we did. I thought we had the better football team.
How does it sound? Sound all right?
Let's hear that. Play it
You
back.
believe that? That was a 30 minutes. There's 15 on the side. You had a dead piece of tape.
Oh,
you have one of those envelopes.
Well, you didn't
Let's
do
do it
over.
over. didn't do it over. That was a rehearsal. It didn't go. That was a rehearsal.
You got to do it all over.
They didn't have no tape on there, man. That's rehearsal. So now we'll do it right. So keep it
Now we'll do it right. Now, this is an interview with Lynn Swann. All right, Lynn Swann, you caught the big touchdown pass today, and you're sitting here looking like you own the world.
That's right. In Pittsburgh, we own the world. The Steelers are on top, and we are going to have Super Bowl rings for the rest of the year. Now, I want to tell you, when I scored that touchdown pass, I looked at Terry and I said, Terry, I can beat him on the eye cut. I got him set up. Terry said, all right, we're going to throw it. But Chuck Noll sitting in 2 tight ends. I had to leave the ball game. I came to the sideline and said, Chuck, I can beat him on the eye cut. Chuck looked at me and said, all right, we'll see what happens. They ran 2 running plays. We didn't score. Chuck looked at me and said, Swann, go back in there and run the eye cut. I ran in the game and said, Terry, I can beat him on the eye cut. Terry said, what? I said, call full split right, 42. He called the play. I made 2 steps outside, broke across the middle, ran to the back of the end zone. Terry poised, waited to the last minute, fired one of the linebackers. I leaped up, caught it in my hand, looked down at the ground, tapped 2 feet in, and it was a touchdown. From that moment on, victory was ours. Pittsburgh was the happiest place in the world. There were 14 rookies on this team that started their season in New Orleans. We went back again this year and we beat them. Beat New Orleans in New Orleans. And we're going back a 3rd time for the Super Bowl. And the rings shall be ours.
Hey! And after that speech by Lynn Swann, what do you think of him, Glen Edwards?
Well, Myron, I think with Lynn talking, I think Lynn can steal all the tea out of China.
Let's do a little tape, Jack. Jack, you intercepted 2 passes. You played as big a role as anybody else did in that ball game. And did you have those passes all the way? Were they right there in your eyeballs?
Well, I think the first pass was a weak side flood to Banaszak, and I don't think Stabler saw me. I came underneath Banaszak. I think the left-handed thrower had the ball come into me too, but I don't think he saw me. There's a lot of traffic in there, and I just broke underneath him. The second one was a blitz. Glen Edwards is blitzing, and I think Stabler had to release the ball a little quicker than he wanted to. Charlie Smith didn't even turn back. I had him in front of me. I just broke on the football again. So the rush is what really caused probably both of those interceptions.
All right, what'd you have to say? Mel Blount.
I would like to say that today, against the Oakland Raiders, we really had a good time, even though Cliff Branch, who I think is one of the baddest receivers in the business, did get loose for 1 touchdown. But I would also like to say that we are the best in the business, regardless of what happened. We are the best. Thank you, man.
Well spoken. That was an interview with Mel Blount, fantastic All-American Steeler cornerback.
Hey, pick up the
What did they give Art the game ball?
Yeah.
Get up there. Where is he? Can I do a quickie with Art before my tape runs out?
Here, sit here.
Art, we're somewhere between Oakland and Pittsburgh and flying higher than any plane has ever flown, and the players have just given you the game ball. I guess this got to be your happiest day in football.
Well, it is, and I'm very grateful to the ball players and to the coaches and all the people that have made this possible. It's been a long time, but it's sure been worth it.
Did the Oakland management, namely Oakland Al Davis, by any chance have the grace to congratulate you at the finish?
Oh, yeah, I walked out of the ballpark with him.
Oh, I had heard rumors that he was just, like a short distance away and didn't even come over to congratulate you.
Oh, no, I walked out of the ballpark to the buses with him.
Thanks, Art. That was an interview with Art Rooney.
Don't shoot, we surrender. Did you get that on tape?
Yeah.
That crafty old vet, he ain't gonna be around much more.
I put so many moves on Tom's. I put so many moves on Tom's that come on, he just fell down. I told you one time I saw him laying there.
his hand out there on the grass.
Sometimes I had him so foxy. I was still blocking him. Everybody was walking back to the huddle.
That was good.
Oh, I had a day on him. He beat me once on a P10 early in the game. They stopped his cold.
Unbelievable. I couldn't have imagined you to play.
We're a little bunch of squirts like we are up front. We don't do a bad
Little
job.
shits. You're little shits, really, up against
those
all the
big
big
guys.
guys.
I walked in, I'm sure I walked by me. I felt like a midget over there. I walked out halftime. I had the strange feeling that Tom's was laughing at my size.
Look at that little.
He came walking out, and I walked with Bubba and Corver and all those guys, and I was looking up at all of them. Good God, what am I got myself into?
You knew they were big when they got rid of Bob Brown, right?
He wasn't big enough to make the team.
What was he, 6'5"? Oh, he made the
he beat me out of tackle at Philadelphia. That's why I ended up in Pittsburgh.
What a game. It's going to make minutes.